Hello all. I welcome my students and my viewers of this YouTube channel E-Political Science. And today I'll be discussing on political theories topic, and that is on liberty and equality, whether it is complementary or contradictory to each other. Though this topic is very old and most of the times it has been asked in the class, in the exams also, but still it is very important. So I have brought this discussion on liberty and equality, and you'll be getting a long question on that. Maybe sometimes you can also get short notes on this. So be prepared for this long question on this topic, or you can also get a short notes on this topic. So this topic is very important from the point of view of that for your classes, assignment presentations as well as the exams point of view. So let us begin with the topic. Now, why liberty and equality? Why we say that they are complementary or contradictory? So first video, though there are many videos on political theory, the playlist is unending. So mainly what you have to look is what are the topics which you want to view, and then you can search for it. They have recently uploaded on liberty and equality, the basic idea and the discussion and the debates on the liberty and equality. This is another part of the debate. Now, when we are talking about both the values, though both are political values, they are foundational principles in political thought, yet their relationship remains a subject of intense debate. Now, this presentation will explore whether these values they are inherently complementary or contradictory, examining the arguments of influential scholars who have shaped the modern political theory. So stay tuned and please do not skip any part of the slides because each part is equally important. So many times we are looking for something very important and you skip the slides, so it is connected to each other, so please watch it carefully and connect it. Now, when we talk about the complementary view, now the complementary word means more or less both the values are coordinating or they're cooperating with each other. That means they are in synergy. Okay. Now, one major school of thought which believes that liberty and equality they are not only compatible but also they are mutually reinforcing. So, proponents argue that true freedom cannot exist without a degree of equality and vice versa. So, mainly, what is the synergy argument? Basically, they are mutual reinforcing to each other. Then, equality in opportunity and basic resources can empower individuals to exercise their liberties more effectively, fostering societal well being. That means they can help in enabling the freedom environment, then they can also help in the societal progress. Both of them, they are complementary to each other. So when both values are pursued, societies can achieve greater justice, stability, and human flourishing, leading to comprehensive progress. So all these 3 points you can explain and then elaborate with examples. Now, when we're talking about the complementarity or the complementary debates, who are the scholars who are mostly talking about it? So, probably J.S. Mill, John Stuart Mill, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Mill argued that equality of opportunity is crucial for individuals to develop their full potential. Without it, liberty becomes meaningless for those constrained by social or economic disadvantages. Now, in this way, he has tried to engage in this whole idea that both are complementary. Both of them advocated individual freedom within a framework of social justice, believed education and political participation enable true liberty. Now, when we are talking about Rousseau, freedom and equality, he says that both are inseparable. In a truly just society, he posited that individuals surrender some natural liberty to gain civil liberty through the social contract. Now, the concept of the general will is also very important, which is talking about the collective good. But he warned against extreme wealth and poverty corrupting the political body. Now, when we are talking about the complementarity debate, we can also look into the other scholars like Harold J. Lasky. I keep on telling that he's a pluralist scholar who has always advocated about social, economic, political, so and other facets of democracy, liberty, equality. So he's not thinking or talking about any one facet. Now, Barker. Ernest Barker, he has viewed both liberty and equality as essential for personality growth. A balanced society nurtures individuals, allowing them to thrive and contribute fully. And T.H. Green is also a protagonist of positive liberalism, and he's talking about positive liberty, and he argues that the state has a role in providing conditions like education and healthcare that enable individuals to be truly free. Now, when we are talking about the philosophical traditions, the roots of reinforcement. So, since the complementary view is deeply rooted in the liberal, social liberal traditions emphasizing collective responsibility for individual well-being and freedom, so we can talk about that the constitutional rights are equally important here. Equal opportunities concern is equally important. Then the idea of social welfare is important because liberty and equality both are complementary here. Now, what are the contradictory view and why? Now, when we're talking about the contradictory view, then we have to keep in mind then that when liberty exists, equality is not existing, or when the presence of one other is not visible, or even if it is visible, it is insignificant. So they are not helping each other grow. So, who are those who are thinking that those two values they can't go along with each other? So, what is the idea of coercion here? So, here school of thought argues that efforts to enforce equality inevitably it tries to infringe, it violates upon individual liberty, necessitating a trade-off between the two values. Now, liberty first. Now, it emphasizes individual freedom as the paramount value, often seeing state intervention as a threat. Now, as you think that liberty is important, and as soon as you realize that state is also there to either maximize your welfare or to limit it, you think that its intervention is a threat. So there is the problem. Now, coercive equality. It argues that achieving equality typically requires governmental force which restricts natural liberties. Then the idea of natural inequalities. It believes that some degree of inequality is a natural outcome of free choices and a dynamic market economy. So inequality should be there. Then who are the scholars who are talking about their both that they are not complementary to each other and who are skeptics of equality? For example, Lord Acton. Lord Acton, famous quotation, most of us are aware of it. Power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So he has seen equality as a potential path to tyranny. Now, if pursued through excessive state power. But he has feared centralized authority in the name of equality. He has believed liberty thrives in diversity and differentiation. Now when we talk about Alexis de Tocqueville, he is a famous scholar and his work now democracy in America. Now he's observing American democracy, warned that an overriding desire for equality could lead to tyranny of the majority or soft despotism, where collective control strives individual initiative. So he is more concerned about conformity in democratic societies. Now he has also emphasized the importance of independent associations. Okay, so you will talk when you study about social capital, Robert Putnam, and then Alexis de Tocqueville, you can understand what both are trying to argue. Now, what are the modern challenges? Who are the modern? These are the, you can say, the traditional scholars who have argued as such. Now, you can find the libertarian, all the libertarian scholars, Nozick, Friedman, Hayek, they argue that free individual action naturally leads to disparities and any attempt at a redistribution it more infringes upon property rights and economic liberty. So if you look into the Isaiah Berlin's argument, if you have You must have already done the topic liberty, negative and the positive liberty, negative liberty. You have to do two concepts of liberty of ICF Berlin. So all the videos are there in the playlist and they are extensively. I have tried to explain it with PPT explanations, connecting it so that you can more clear it from the NCRT, and then from my videos are there, and the book link also is there if anyone wants to buy my book on political theory, Introduction to Political Theory. It's available in both in Hindi and English. So now Berlin has distinguished between the negative liberty and positive. Now, negative freedom from interference and positive freedom to achieve one's potential. So he warned that pursuit of positive liberty could justify state coercion and it could undermine negative liberty. Now, when we talk about the philosophical traditions emphasizing freedom, the contradictory views they forms the bedrock of classical liberalism, and these are the scholars who are making this foundation, classical liberalism and then neoliberalism and then modern libertarianism, advocating for more for minimal state intervention and prioritizing individual autonomy. Now, when you're looking out on personal choice, so there comes the problem. When we're talking about the private property, strong protection of private property rights is seen as fundamental to liberty and economic prosperity. Now, free enterprise, unrestricted markets allow for innovation and wealth creation, even if this leads to disparities. So, these are the arguments which you can talk about and then elaborate why liberty and equality they are contradictory. You simply don't have to just quote the scholars and then you think that your answers is complete. You have to extensively explain. First, you have to understand and then explain. So, liberty and equality, they are comparative. If a summary, if you can look into this a slide. So, when I talked about complementary, so I talked about J.S. Mill, Lasky, Rousseau, Green. So, core belief is they are mutually reinforcing each other, leading to greater social good. Now, policy implications, welfare programs, we can see of the governmental policies, then public education, equal rights, various legislations which are talking about redistributive policies. Now, when we are talking about the contradictory view, Lord Acton, Alexis de Tocqueville, ICF Berlin, then other libertarians who are seeing this equality as a threat to individual liberty and free choice. So, what are the implications? Implications is minimal state intervention. Market should be free, strong private property rights, and limited social welfare. So, this debate is a complex debate and it is still continuing, and we can't say that the debate is over or there is no discourse, no discussion on this. So it keeps on happening. So more or less we need to understand the relationship, and then in both the relationships they are very contextual. So at last we can conclude that both the values they are equally important. They are normative values, not just theoretical but they are practical issues. Now, complementary view dominates modern democratic thought. Contradictory view remains influential in libertarian and classical liberal circles. So, ongoing debates they shape policy, law, and civic life. So, please go through all the playlist which is there, and each playlist has number of videos which is related to your topic, both for the honors in the program. Have a nice day. God bless you. Thank you.